with the rescheduling of the game first to Sunday, then Wednesday, what did that do to your schedule of preparation for this?
Not a ton. I mean, backed it up. We were already prepared to play on Sunday by the time we moved it to Wednesday. It gave us maybe 36, 48 hours to give the guys a chance to try to catch their breath, not only physically but mentally. I mean, we know, like we said last week, we're beat up. So, one of the positives, getting an extra few days, maybe to try to get a little healthier. But hey, it's part of football. If 2 years ago taught us anything, you got to be ready to adjust. And most importantly, talking to Gus and the people down in Central Florida, I mean, the whole state has been wrecked, and there's a lot more important things in football. I know, fortunately, the players and coaches and everybody at UCF were safe, but, I know a lot went on there. And so to give them more time to prepare for the game and really just to, try to clean up in areas that, they need to, both for them and their city, to me, it made a lot of sense.
I was going to ask, given your relationship with Coach Malzahn, if you had reached out and chatted with him. You said he and his family are okay.
Yeah.
Is football off limits for those conversations in this week?
Yeah, I mean, we did speak. We texted a few times when the game moved to Sunday, and then we actually spoke on the phone. I think it was Friday afterwards, just to make sure everybody was safe and, just to talk through everything. But, yeah, we weren't really talking much about the game, more about the things that matter. And so we were just letting them know we're thinking about them, and they were appreciative. And I think they'll be ready to go, and so will we.
Talked a little bit about, moral victories don't count for anything. Silver linings, I think, were brought up. But, when you see an AP poll come out and TCU goes from unranked to 17, Maryland's receiving votes, things like that, does that just even add a little bit more to what you guys thought you have done the last couple of weeks against really good teams?
Yeah, I figured TCU would have been top 15, and I'm shocked that Maryland's not ranked. I mean, they're 4-1. They're only lost on the road to number 4 by a touchdown. So I think it just validates what we knew, is that we played 2 really good football teams. We had our chances to win. We didn't, but we competed toe-to-toe with both of them. They're really good football teams. We knew that before and when we played them. I think it just validates to everybody else what we knew. But, hey, we got a new season now. There's 8 games. We got an 8-game conference season. We got a really good league that's wide open, and we want to get off to a good start. And our goal is to try to be one of the 2 teams left after those 8 games still in it.
I mean, seeing a team like Tulane go to Houston and win, do you use things like that and show the guys like, hey, this is a wide open league, let's reset and let's focus in on what we can do, which still have.
Yeah, I didn't reference any one game.
Yeah.
I mean, Tulane went and beat Kansas State. And, I think once you get into league play, in most leagues, but we know this in our league, there's no gimmies. Like, it doesn't shock you any week when Navy beats ECU and Tulane beats Houston and so on and so forth, because anybody can beat anybody. And so I think they see the scores, they see the parity and know that it's wide open. And I think they know that we're playing arguably maybe the most talented team in our league Wednesday night at their place. And so just to try to get off to a good start in conference is really all we're focused on right now.
You mentioned that you've got some guys who are beat up. Do you have any injury updates you can share?
Not at this time. I mean, I think most of the guys, if we'd have played today, we're going to be able to try to give it a go. Some guys may be a game time decision. I would suspect most of them will give it a go. But some of them, we kind of have a good idea now, but some of them will have to wait till kickoff. That's just the truth. And some of them may try to go and figure out they can or figure out they can't. And they'll just have to be the next man up.
What have you seen from your safety group? You got Brian Massey. It seems like he's, maybe not quite 100% yet. And then, Chris Adamora, Nick Roberts, Brandon Crosby, guys like that. What have you seen from that group so far?
Yeah, I think, our defense, it's a new scheme. We play with 3 safeties. There's a lot that is put on the plate of those guys with all the adjustments and motions and stuff. And so, Massey is still, I bet he's, if I'm guessing, 80%, just throwing out a random number. I think he's pretty good straight ahead. Change of direction at times is iffy, and some days are better than others. And I think he's getting there, but you're playing through it. It takes a little longer. The rest of the guys seem pretty healthy. I know Isaiah's been having a hamstring thing that's been nagging him. But I think those guys are doing a good job. And the thing that is taking a look, they know how to play multiple positions back there, because, you get an injury here or there and you got to shift guys around, just like sometimes we have to do it wide out. But I think those guys are starting to really get comfortable with what we're doing. I think they'll get better and better, hopefully, as we go through conference.
Do you have to go back to junior high? When was the last time you played a regular season football game on a Wednesday night?
I was in the Fun Belt in 2012. Okay. And we played on Tuesday, on Thursday, on Friday, on Wednesday. So there was a lot of shuffling there. I can't remember if we did any of that during 2020. I don't think we did. So, I mean, you know, it's guys handle. It's kind of like your kids as an adult. Your kids handle change. They're a little more resilient than us adults are. We get set in our ways. Our players have handled it well. You know, it's finals week this week, so that was going to be on a bye week. Puts a little more on their plate, but hey, that's why they're student athletes. They'll handle it well.
What's your plan, not to get ahead of the game, but what's your plan post UCF? How will you guys reset and kind of get on your schedule for Navy?
Yeah, we won't have a normal bye week, but we'll because of the night game now, we'll get back at like 3 or 4 a.m. Thursday morning. Got to get our guys to class. Again, it's finals week. Coaches, we got to go out and recruit Thursday night and Friday night like we were going to anyways. We'll try to, you know, figure it out between, you know, myself and coordinators if we can steal some time on Thursday and Friday to start game planning for Navy while also recruiting. We just got to get our kids. They'll be off Thursday other than going to class. We'll have some light meetings Friday morning like we normally would, and then they'll go to class. That'll be the main focus for those 2 days for those guys recruiting more for us. We'll probably give them off Saturday, which would be normal anyways since that would be their normal off day if we did play on a Friday a week out. And then we'll come in Sunday afternoon like it's our Monday, and we'll have a normal week leading up to Friday.
High school football is pretty much a month in now. How are you guys approaching the rest of the recruiting class in terms of building it? Do you have a set number of remaining spots that you'd like to either use or target certain positions? And you know, what's the evaluation process like for you guys as you go through?
It's different than it used to be. We have an idea, but the goalpost moves a whole lot more than it used to because you don't know what's going to happen in the transfer portal from your own roster, from other rosters at the end of the year. We like our high school commits right now, so we're trying to hold on to those guys and continue to develop those relationships. We'll add players if we think they make our team better, but we don't like necessarily have a number. We just got to go out and sign. But I think, you know, given the way the outgoing seniors we're going to have leaving and all those things, I think we'll have quite a bit of room to continue to try to add pieces to next year's team once we get to that December period.
And the new window rules with the transfer portal, how does that impact you guys on your end and maybe even managing the roster?
I think it's great for everybody. I think it's great for obviously for coaching staffs because we now have some clarity, like we at least have some structure to it. So we know, hey, this is the time people are going in and this is the time they're not. At the same time, I think it helps kids too. I've always thought that it's like anything. If you give people too many options, sometimes it's hard to make the best decision. So if you say, hey, during this window, if you feel like there's things you need to do to improve your situation, go explore that. But otherwise, like when things aren't going your way, find a way to push through it. Go talk to your coach, communicate. That's generally, if people stick things out, things get solved. But when you got too many options at your disposal, sometimes it's hard to see that. So I think it's a step in the right direction. I really do.
Given the altered schedule this week because of all the circumstances down in Florida, do you and your staff try to add wrinkles to the game plan, or do you simply try to refine what you'd already put in?
I felt good about, you know, our game plan on offense, defense teams last week, and that's the fear as a coach is you get a little extra time and you start tinkering it. So I'll be honest with you, on Saturday yesterday, I didn't look at 1 ounce of film, and it was on purpose because I knew if I did, I'd start tinkering and messing with it, tweaking it, and look, you know, we got back into it today. You're trying to always confirm things and make sure the plan's sound and solid and anything you're missing. But at this point, we gotta trust the plan, trust our kids to go play. And that's a good question because you can do that. And I've been guilty of that before. And we're trying to make sure that we just go out and let our guys play fast and play free.
What's the hardest part of UCF to simulate in practice for your scout team?
It's got to be their speed. I've said it all week, speed. It's the fastest team, at least on tape. And we've played 2 fast teams the last few weeks. As a team, I don't know if if the last 2 teams are as fast as these guys. Every position, offense, defense teams, they just got incredible team speed. And speed, you know, corrects and makes up for a lot of mistakes. So they play hard too. So they have speed and they play hard. So that's probably hard to simulate. Fortunately, you know, we've got some speed on our team and we played 2 really fast teams the last 2 weeks. So hopefully that speed of the game doesn't catch us off guard.